I'm delighted to say we have a very happy, I guess, this morning, Joseph O'Brien with us after victory in the Melbourne Cup this morning. Joseph, good morning to you. How are you?
Morning, Ger. Very good, thank you.
So how do you celebrate victory 8,000 miles away?
Well, I suppose we came straight into work here this morning with on the first lot. So we're just finished first lot, and obviously there's a great buzz around the yard this morning.
Where did you watch the race? Just at home?
Just at home, yeah, just at home. Obviously it was at 4 a.m. So we're up at 3:30 and touched base with the guys on the track, and everything was good. And watched the race at home then, yeah.
A lot of people again just waking up this morning won't actually have seen the race. Your horse was an outsider, 25 to 1 shot.
Yeah, he was a big enough price, but he had very good form really all season here in Ireland. He had a couple of big wins at the Curragh, yeah, he was a big enough price, but you know, he was a legitimate contender all the same. He had ran in the race last year and was a little bit disappointing, but this was our first year with a full preparation with him, and he had come off the back of some very good runs, you know, at the Curragh through the year and in the Irish Ledger.
And so Twilight Payment is the horse we're talking about. When did you realise that this was, I mean, obviously you brought him down last year, not just for a look around and for the crack, so you must have thought this was a perfect Melbourne Cup horse the first time or very early on in getting them into the yard.
Yeah, well, Lloyd and Nick Williams bought him from Jim Bulger halfway through last season after he actually beat a horse of mine called a Trove at the Curragh one day. And from there, he was obviously a horse that was on that trail, but he had a couple of runs for me last season, and I didn't perform up to scratch really. So he had a good long break, and he had a full preparation with us this year, and really he just went from strength to strength with each race, and obviously it culminated in the Melbourne Cup last night, which was his long-term target.
Okay, so you kind of from last year's Melbourne Cup, you were like, look, you know, we could actually get him back here next year and give him another go at it.
Yeah, well, it's very difficult for a horse to go from into a whole new regime, you know, halfway through a season, and you'd often see that with horses that would change stable, that, you know, it would take them a little bit of time just to get to know the new gallops and surroundings and that. So yeah, absolutely. But he's really went from strength to strength this year.
And again, a lot of people won't have actually seen the race. Was it close? Did he have the run that you wanted the whole way through? Did you kind of know from a little bit out that, ooh, this is going well?
He made all the running, which is very difficult to do, but he's got a fantastic attitude and a huge will to win. And he loves to bowl along in front. And he went off in the lead. He was ridden by a chap called Jai McNeil, it was his first ride in the Cup, but he's had a fantastic couple of seasons in Melbourne, and he's one of the top riders down there. And he's renowned for being a good judge of pace. And that was a lot of the reason why Lloyd and Nick got him tried to book him to ride Twilight Payment, and he made all the running, and he went for home around kind of the 5 furlong marker. And you know, Twilight has been, you know, over the last number of seasons in Ireland, even when he was with Jim before he came to us, he was renowned for being very hard horse to pass. And they came at him in the straight, but you know, he fought them off, and they were finishing strong. But his will to win, I got him over the line.
And you touched off one of your dad's horses again for the second time to win a Melbourne Cup.
Yeah, Tiger Mott was second. A huge run from him, a 3-year-old coming from one of the widest draws in the race, and only his 5th lifetime start. So that was an incredible effort for him. You know, our Twilight Payment is a 7-year-old gelding. He's been to every dance and has all the experience and the miles on the clock. Whereas you know, Tiger Mott is a 3-year-old, and to come from the draw that he came from and to just get nabbed or just beaten was a huge performance.
So plenty in his future as well. Go on, Owen, sorry.
Are you more nervous watching from the other side of the world on a morning like this morning, or how were the emotions this morning?
Yeah, sure. Listen, obviously, Owen, you'd be nervous in a big race like that. But you know, Mark Power, who led the team that have been in Australia for the guts of the last 6 weeks. Sean Corby looks after Twilight Payment every day. MJ Neil and Leighton have all been there with our team of horses, and I've every faith in them. I didn't have any reservations along the way that the horse wouldn't be presented in fantastic condition. We were in touch every day, and Nick Williams had been there to watch the horse galloping most days, and we were in touch with him most of the time. So we knew that the horse had a very good preparation, and that we knew we couldn't do any more other than need a little bit of luck in the run. And so when you have your preparation done like that, you obviously still would be nervous, but it's in the lap of the gods from there.
And what's the first thing you and your dad say to each other after the finish?
Well, listen. Obviously, it was a fantastic race, and both horses ran immensely well, and we're very proud of their performances. Listen, he was delighted for me, and as I would have been for him. But just delighted that the horses performed well.
I'm sure it was obviously mixed emotions for your dad, despite the fact that the horse had finished second and did really well. Anthony Van Dyke was a stable superstar and was unfortunately injured badly in the race and was euthanised just afterwards. So that definitely, I'm sure, is a pall that hangs over it.
Yeah, absolutely. Unfortunately, in elite sports, footballers and whatever, people suffer severe fractures, and unfortunately, in the case of a thoroughbred, they don't recover very well from them at all, or at all in this case, because it was quite severe. So an emotional day for everyone involved with him, and to EJ and the lads that have been looking after the horse for extended period of time. Very, very much an emotional day for them and connections.
Yeah, no doubt. One last question. Obviously, we understand the world is in the lockdown scenario that it's in. Do you get as much fulfilment, or is there a little sense of you going, I really wish I could have been there for this?
Not really, Ger. Like you say, this is a very strange time. Nobody has ever seen anything like this, really. And I would love to have been there, of course, and love to have enjoyed the day and the celebrations and the racing. But we're very lucky that we were able to take part in the race at all, and there's a huge amount of work has gone on behind the scenes from our team here. Mark Hackett in the office. There's a huge amount of work liaising with Racing Victoria and the people in Australia to get the people there and get the horses there, and the quarantines and all the different things that had to be done to make it happen. So we're just very lucky that we were able to take part in the race, special to win it.
How do you rank this amongst all of the things that you've won already at this stage of your career? Is it because it's so far away and so difficult to get everything right, and because of all the logistical issues, is it actually one of the most fulfilling things that you can win?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. The Melbourne Cup is one of the biggest races in the world, and whatever way you look at it, it's watched by so many people, and it'll be on literally on the front page of all the papers in Australia over the last few days in the build up to the race, and not just on the racing or the sporting press. It really kind of is across the whole country. They call it the race that stops the nation, and it really does. And to take part in the race is very special, and to have won it twice is really hard to believe, to be quite honest. And just very thankful to Lloyd and Nick and the support that we have, and the team of people that we have behind the scenes.
It's a stunning achievement, Joseph. Congratulations. You should really enjoy these days, because I know it feels like they're going to come forever and ever. And so far your track record is fairly sensational in it, but definitely pinch yourself and enjoy. Thanks a million for joining us.
Pleasure, Ger. Thanks, Owen.
It's Joseph O'Brien giving us his thoughts there on a stunning achievement in securing his second Melbourne Cup.